boys and girls and fellow scientists. Welcome to a video on the weirdest looking animals ever discovered. And no, I will not be referring or talking about the weird creature that evolved from the sandwich or food you left under your bed all those years ago. No, we were talking about animals we have actually discovered and that we know exist. Please keep your room clean and always throw your food away in the dustbin. Do not leave it under your bed. That's gross. Right, so anyway, planet Earth is a big place. And on Earth, there are so many different animals. How many animals are there on Earth? Well, no, not 9,000. I try over 2 million different species so far. 2 million and counting because there's still so many animals we haven't yet discovered. That's how big Earth is, all right? And yes, many of those animals are in fact very cute. I mean, just look at this fennec fox over here. But that's not what this video is about. We're focusing on those animals that are, well, not so cute to look at, right? And it doesn't mean they're ugly, okay? It just means that they're very strange looking. All right, first up on our list is the echidna. The echidna is one of 4 species of echidna that exist on Earth. And all echidnas have very long tongues, which they use to scoop up ants as their food. So they eat ants, so they have a long tongue to scoop those ants up. You'll also notice that they have a very long nose to snuff out those ants and very long, strong claws to dig up the ground so they can get to those ants better. Echidnas belong to a subgroup called monotremes, which are mammals that are very ancient. In fact, they were there around about the time of the dinosaurs, and they've pretty much stayed the same. And as a result, they still lay eggs like birds do, all right? So monotremes are the only mammals that still lay eggs. Then we have, next up on this, we have the platypus, right? Which is a very strange looking creature indeed. The platypus is also a monotreme, which means it lays eggs like the echidna. And like all monotremes, it also sweats out milk to feed its babies. So it literally sweats the milk out and the babies lick it off the fur, right? Very strange. The male platypus has a poison spur on the inside of its back legs. And you can see that poison spur right here is like a nail, which is a hollow. And if it hits you with the nail, it actually injects you with a type of poison, similar to how snake fangs work. Like when snakes bite you, when venomous snakes bite you, they inject venom to you. That's kind of how this spur works, and it uses it as a defense mechanism to basically chase off anything that's trying to hurt it. Then we have a creature that looks like it's straight out of your nightmares, and that's the goblin shark. And it's very much real. But good news is they live very deep down in the ocean, more than a kilometer down, and down there is almost no light, so it's pitch black. So I hope if you do find yourself down a kilometer down in the ocean, you decided that, so you only have yourself to blame if you run into one of these. It is an ancient species, and it's been around for more than 125 million years. That means it's been on Earth. It was on Earth before the T-Rex was. How crazy is that? And it's still around today. They have mouths that balloon to swallow their prey whole. They don't do a lot of chewing. You can see by their teeth, their teeth aren't really made to chew. So instead, their mouths actually can balloon. They can actually shoot out their mouths. It's like a sort of alien and basically make their mouths grow in size and then swallow whatever they're eating whole, which is crazy and creepy. And other than that, there's not much known about them because they live so deep down in the ocean. It's very difficult for us to get there, so there's a lot of mystery around the goblin shark. All right, then we have the eye. The eye is a type of lemur, a species of lemur, and like all lemur, it lives on the island of Madagascar. Eyes are completely arboreal, and this means that they spend most of their time in trees. In fact, they're never on the ground, right? It's because that's where they're slow. They're faster in the trees, and that's where they stay. It's also safer in the trees. They have really big eyes, as you can see, which gives them really great night vision. Since they're also nocturnal, which so good night vision is helpful. They have really good, well, they have big ears and specialized fingers. You can see here, like it's these long, uh, you know, creepy looking hook fingers, and they use this to find their food, which is beetle larvae, which is like so beetle larvae are like worm-like creatures that live inside the wood of the trees, and the way they find these grub worms, these beetle larvae, is they actually tap on the tree like with their finger, like similar to how I'm doing now. They just tap and then they listen, and it creates an echo inside the wood. And the sound will be different where the worm is. So they can actually, by tapping on the wood, they can actually hear where the worm is hiding. And then they use their hook fingers to basically like probe out that worm through the hole inside the wood. Very cool, very weird. All right, by the way, you remember Maurice from Madagascar, the movie? Well, the eye is supposed to be Maurice, or Maurice is supposed to be an eye. You see the resemblance? Yeah, well, me neither. Right, then we have the Commodore dog, which is also nicknamed the mop dog, and I think it's obvious why. I mean, it looks like the answer to the question, what happens if I take a mop and I mix it with, or fuse together with the dog, right? It looks like I get the Commodore dog, right? But despite its zany look, it's a very loving family dog, and they often use them for sheep herding. So it's a type of sheepdog as well. And we have this strange looking monkey over here. This is called the Proboscis monkey, on the account of its nose looking at like a type of proboscis, like similar to what flies or mosquitoes have. Proboscis monkeys are endemic to the rainforest of Borneo. Endemic means they are only found in that one place. And Borneo is this highlighted country, or rather a region here, which is in the middle of the Southeast Asian rainforest area, which is this whole area over here, between Asia and Australia. Their stomachs have multiple chambers so that they can digest food other monkeys can't. So instead of having one chamber stomach like we do, they can have up to 10 chambers in the stomach, and that helps them digest food like leaves that other animals wouldn't be able to do. All right, so they can allows them to eat more things. All right, so they also have large noses, and their large noses help to amplify the sounds they make when they communicate. And you're probably wondering, how does your nose change the sound you make? Well, I mean, just squeeze your nose together, and you'll notice that it sounds different. And that's basically how their noses help them with their sound. Next, we have the saiga antelope, right? Which, I mean, looks like it comes straight out of Star Wars. But the saiga antelope is no sci-fi story. This is the real thing, and you can find them. They're indigenous, meaning they live naturally in Central Asia, or they're indigenous to Central Asia, which is the collection of these countries you can see here, which include Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. That's a lot of stuns, all right? So there are strange noses. Their strange noses actually help filter out dust, and that's why they have this weird nose. It's to keep the dust, out of their lungs. So it's probably dusty where they live, and that's the adaptation they have evolved to help, with that problem. Once there were millions of saiga antelope, but now there are only a few thousand remaining, which is quite sad. So they are an endangered species. Next, we have the Emperor Tamarin, which, just reminds me of the Kung Fu Master. I mean, the way his mustache is, his beard, reminds me of the Kung Fu Master, right? Which I thought was really cool. The Emperor Tamarin is indigenous to the Amazon rainforest, and crazy enough, they use their mustaches to identify each other. So that's kind of what the mustache does. It's a type of way to identify one from the other, because no mustache is the same. So you can have like a million tamarin, emperor tamarins, but none of them will have exactly the same mustache, and that's how they can tell each other apart. They live in large family groups, which helps them watch out for one another. Vin Diesel would be proud. Then we have this very strange creature. It doesn't look like it's alive, but it is. And this is typical of the ocean is no stranger to weird looking animals, let me tell you. And the sea cucumber is such a member of the group. So the sea cucumber is not in any way related to the land cucumber, which is a part of a plant, by the way. No, so the sea cucumber is an animal that lives in the ocean. So the sea cucumber has no brain, heart, or lungs, but still it manages to live its best life and follow the 7 life processes that all living things follow. They are decomposers and scavengers. Since they live at the bottom of the ocean, they eat whatever they can find on the floor. There are about 1,250 different species of sea cucumber that have been discovered so far. And sea cucumbers belong to a group called echinoderms, and other members of this group include starfish and sea urchins. Next up, and last but not least, we have the blobfish. This fish has a face only a mother could love, and maybe not even then. The blobfish is also known as a flathead sculpin, and they have no bones and no teeth, and they hardly have any muscles. It's probably why they look the way they do. They live near the bottom of the ocean, where the pressure is so immense that that's probably what gives it its shape when it's in the water. Because of that, it looks different when they are in the water compared to when they are out of the water. Just take a look. So here we have how it looks like when it's inside the ocean, and then this is how it looks when you take it out of the ocean. Yeah, I know, nasty. So I hope that you found that interesting, and I hope that I covered everything. But if I'm forgetting something, please free to add it or share your thoughts in the comments. I'll be interested to see if you have anything to add, or if you have anything you want to say about the video, you're welcome to. If you like the video, please drop a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I mean, there's still way more interesting content on its way. And like always, never stop learning. And till next time, have a great one. See ya.